Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a Monday morning with Lillian. I'm here to give you a sneak peek of something that's going to be available to you beginning tomorrow. As demonstrators, we're fortunate in that we can have sneak peek items the month before. So not only do we get great deals as demonstrators, we get to get things a little early. So just a little bit of fun. So let's just go down to my desktop and see what it's all about. So here we go. So, see, I gave you a nice view of my computer. Wasn't that lovely of me? There we go. It's Monday morning, so who knows what will happen. I think I have had my quota of coffee, so either I'm going to be in overdrive or it's going to be just fine. So let me just get my computer going, and I see Rhonda's here. Rhonda, did you see I featured your card last week? I hope you saw that. And Diana's here. Great. Hi, Diana. So glad you guys could join me. And I'm just getting my computer ready. So if I'm yelling at you, sorry, I've got my mouth very close to my phone. So let's just chat for a minute. And a big thank you to those who like my videos, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, and share it, all of that. That really helps me a lot become more visible in the social media world. So I really do appreciate it. But I'm here today to throw you a bit of a curve. Well, a curvy celebration, that is. So this curvy celebration is coming, going to be available beginning tomorrow for you. So I don't know about you, but I love when there's the curved lines on cards or even on clothing. In fact, I will talk about that in a minute. I will just continue because you want to see the next page. So there are a few samples here. Even this, look at that. And then on this page, it shows you what's involved. And I have them actually here, so I'll show you. But if you happen to get the flyer, remember that it's shown at 60%. So the actual size is shown here. They had to reduce it to fit it on the page. So there's a stamp set and dies that work beautifully together. And that is a bundle for $55.75. Or there is, or as well as, there is this gorgeous Christmas one, which can be used for other seasons as well. And this one is also shown at 60%. So here's the actual size. And this one is only while supplies last, as is this great designer paper. It's 6x6, 48 sheets. And again, I'm going to show you that. Now, if you want the whole shebang, all 4 items, you can get it for a reduced price of $96. With shipping and handling and GST, it's about $110 or $111. So you would get all 4 of these items in that bundle. So let me show it to you in real life. I had some playtime this weekend and got to play with them, and I am in love. Well, I usually am, but I love it. So I'm going to show you, here's the Curvy Christmas. And again, this is reduced so that they would fit in here. But look at how long that you can see. I've been using it on some colored stuff that just doesn't come off very well. It just stains. It's really good. So nice big curves like that. And the other stamp set is the Quite Curvy. So this would fit all kinds of occasions, from birthdays to thinking of you, to celebration. There's even all these little birds, and there are dies for all of these, even this little guy down here for all of this. So here are the dies here, and sometimes it's just easier, you can see them there, to see them once they've been cut out. So this die here, let me bring this out. This die here cuts out this shape right here. Now the dies actually have a cutting edge and a non-cutting edge. And you might have seen these because people have been demonstrating with them. So you can have either an edge with the design on it, or you can have a plain edge. that'll make sense once we get going here. And then this one here is for here, like that. And then this one here, this one actually cuts out the leaves and then embosses the vine. I don't know if you can see that up close or not. So I see people here from Lynn and Sheila and Sharon. Oh, this is great. So glad you're joining me. Okay, then let's move on. So these were a bit of a pain when I did a whole bunch of them, but I used my handy dandy take your pick tool. But these are all the leaves that come out of here. So you could either cut them out in a different color, or you can scatter them or use them in a shaker card, or just save them. I have a little container I put extras in for another occasion. And then this die here, so that is this one here, actually cuts out all these vines. Isn't that neat? You don't have to fussy cut. And then of course there's one for this one here, 3 little bird dies, there's a couple of branches, so lots of fun with that. Also included, so there's the stamp set, the dies, and then there's the designer paper. I love this designer paper. It looks Christmassy, but it is definitely not just Christmas. So these are the fronts and backs of the paper, and it comes in the same designs in cherry cobbler, Sahara sand, and shaded spruce. So here it is a little bit bigger. I just pulled out the cherry cobbler. So here's the front and back of that. Front and back like that. Like that. And the trees, and then just the design. So that is the designer paper. Again, I can see it being used for all different occasions. I've gone through a lot of this already. Like I said, I had a bit of playtime. So the designer paper that we're going to use today, we're going to do cherry cobbler, and we're going to use, I think it's this, no, it is the polka dot one. So it is this one here. So we're going to make one card, and then I have a lot of cards to show you, and also a class to talk to you about. So let's bring in what I'm using for the card. I'm using thick whisper white at 5.5 by 8.5, and then it's scored at 4 1/4. So it's going to make our basic card front like that. So we've got the card front. Then I've got a piece, there we go, some of it got, of cherry cobbler. It's 4 by 5 1/4, and it's going to layer on there. So it's just going to have a nice border. So it's just 1/4 inch smaller than the card front all around. And then this one here is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I know those of you who have a love-hate relationship with the eighths, you can take it down to 3 3/4 by 5. But this gives just a narrow little border. So this is how it's going to fasten together. So, you know, you're not locked into my measurements, right? And then the last piece that we're going to bring in is a piece of our designer paper, and I've cut it 5 by 3. The 5 means it's going to, again, just leave a little border all the way around here. Let me just bring this in so you can see. The 3, that's totally optional because we're going to be cutting that. That's just a number that I chose because it was generous, but it's definitely not the be-all and end-all. And I'm going to also bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and show you a little trick. Now these dies, where did I put the dies? I went and put it away. No, I'm missing the one that I want. There we go. These dies leave lots of little pieces, and you can make your regular sandwich, just no sweat. But I have learned a little trick. If you put a dryer sheet underneath your paper, it picks up most of, I won't guarantee it's 100%, but most of those little pieces. Now the thing to realize is it does leave a residue on here. So I've got this old ratty plate, and I'm going to use that. You can wash it off with just some soap and water, hot water likely, and I'm going to put this on here, and I think I'm going to, I want it just a little bit wonky. This is kind of in the way. I'm going to tuck that underneath. So that looks pretty good to me. Again, this doesn't really matter. This is a card I learned from another demonstrator, and her name is Felicity. Ooh, I can't remember her last name. I will have to look it up. But anyway, we've run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then when we take our layers off here, we peel this off. And, oh, do you know what I did? I forgot to check where my cutting edge was. So I've got my design here, but do you see how it's all stuck there? So let's learn from Lillian's mistake and do this one more time. I'm going to put this, slide this over a smidge. There we go. And this time I'm going to look to see where that cutting edge is. And I want it, you know what? I am going to bring in another piece of paper here just because it's going to be easier. So I'm going to bring in my dryer sheet, bring this in, and make sure I've got my cutting edge going the right way. I'm going to be using these pieces for other things, but you can see how you can get a clean edge or a design edge. See, I did that on purpose, right? Yeah, just to show you. Okay, so let's bring that back in and set it up again. There we go, and here we go. And we'll run it through one more time. Like that. Aha, success. That's what I never should talk and do something because it is always dangerous. Now notice how when I just peel this up sort of at an angle, notice how all of those pieces are stuck to the dryer sheet. Now it does leave a bit of residue here, so if you were a scrapbooker, it likely is not healthy for a scrapbook, but for a card this works just fine, and it's a great little trick to use as you want. Now this is going to be a little bit too long, so I said I wanted that by 5, right? So I'm going to just bring this in and line it up there and cut that off at 5, and we're going to be good to go. So now, just before I build my card, I want to put a piece of ribbon around here. So I'm bringing in, this is called the Crinkled seam binding ribbon. It is so soft and easy to use. I'm just going to fasten it around. And I'm going to put a bit of, oh my goodness, it is Monday morning. I've got stuff flying all directions. Just put some seal here. There we go. Just put that around. So all I've done is put some seal on the back to hold my ribbon. It's like that, and I'm going to now fasten it onto here. I'm going to bring this in so you can see a little bit better, and so can I. There we go. And we're just going to line it up so it has an equal edge all the way around, and I've just left room for a tiny edge like that. Now before I go any further, I cut a piece out of using the, what's it called? The Ornate Frames. So these are a set of dies that make a lot of fun frames. And I cut a piece out, and I want to bring in the hello from the other stamp set. Here we go, the hello right here. And this way I can give it to anybody for any occasion. So I always like, when I'm using photopolymer, to put it down so it's retained its shape. Do like that. Bring in this just to add a little cushion, because photopolymer doesn't have much of a cushion. And I'm sticking with cherry cobbler. So we'll ink up hello and hope and pray I get it straight and centered. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Did that. Now I also want to put some stars here. So I'm going to bring in these tiny little stars from Curvy Christmas. So these two sets works beautifully together. And I could put both stars on one block, but I'm going to do 2 separate blocks because sometimes I change my mind about where I want things. And I'm going to do a star here, star here, and then some little ones. So I've got 2, you know, I like an odd number, so I'm going to just add 3 little ones. Sure. Hard to stop sometimes, but that's where it's going to go. Close that up. And now I am going to start to build my card. Clean up my mess a little bit. So this one is going to go onto the cherry cobbler. Doesn't it just make it pop, just all the coordination? And then I'm going to put this one onto the card base. Like this. And let's hope I've got it straight. There we go. Now I'm going to bring in my little hello, and I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. I'll use a couple. See how quickly this is coming together? And this is not a Christmas card. This is using the supplies, but making it slightly different. I'm going to bring in some of that ribbon and just tie a little bow and stick it on. So the thing about tying bows is you usually have to work it a little bit, and sometimes they cooperate right off the bat and sometimes they don't. There, I think that's pretty good. So bring in my ribbon scissors. These scissors cut only ribbon, and those of you who know me know that that's a quick way to get a reaction out of me if you use them on something else, or if you look like you're going to use them on something else. And that's because paper dulls scissors. But, oh, I know what I'm going to do. You see, if I was tying a bow, we're doing it the cheating way, the fake way, but if I was tying a bow, it was scrunched together here, right? So let's just tuck a glue dot under there and scrunch it together with that glue dot, and then when I put this on top, it looks like I actually tied the bow. There, we've got it like that. Now just one last thing, and that is I'm going to bring in the elegant faceted gems and just scatter a few here, just because I can never not use some of these things. I just love them. These gems come in 3 colors. There's white, a matte color, petal pink, and then clear. And I'm going to put one more right about here. And that's our card. I hope you like it. I really liked it. I liked it so much that I made it in Sahara sand as well. So the same paper. And I also made it in shaded spruce. So there you can see how one card, same design. You could put the stars on the inside, decorate it however you want. I'm glad you like it, Kathy. Great. And now, would you like to see some more cards? Give me a thumbs up or something if you would like to see some more. Oh, I see some hearts coming. Yep, okay. I have been playing, so maybe I should move these so it's not too distracting. So here is one made again with that same die, but then I used the plain side as well, and the little branch and the bird. And thinking of you makes my day. Here's another one in cherry cobbler, and I've just put some paper here and the stars going across like that. And let me just see, I wanted to show you that here is a very similar card, but it's for a birthday. I just added some stars and but same colors. So you could take those stars from the Christmas one and turn it into birthday or a celebration. This one here, I really like the neutral colors in this one. And then I always put who I copied the card from or it was inspired by. So I did this on the inside. If you wanted to turn it into a gift card holder, you can again use that curvy die, fasten that in, and look at that. Wouldn't that makes it just kind of interesting, right? I think so. Okay, so there's that. Here is one that isn't even using the dies. It is using the branch, making it mistletoe, stamping the bow in Versamark and embossing it and coloring it, and you do have to fussy cut the bow out. But there's the little speckles that you can do the stamping with here in the background. So there's just another way of doing that. I'm going to save this one card till the end. Here I use the Feels Like Frost designer paper, and just like that. Here is the Plaid Tidings designer paper with the tree. Here is, we're using the designer paper from the set, and using these dies here. These two cards are exactly the same design, even the same package of designer paper, in good taste, but two different looks. Here, see how we've used the little leaves here, and here we've got the bird. So are you getting inspired yet? And now I wanted to show you one other thing. You can also make like a label. So for example, if I was wanting to put a label on a card, you could do something like that. And then yesterday, most of you are in love with the slimline cards like I am. I also am loving, of course, anything that sparkles. So I took the rainbow glimmer paper, and again, this is not my original idea, cut out a whole bunch, and I used some of the patterns, some of the plain. So I used every little piece and made this card right here. So what do you think? Do you like it? I think it's so much fun. So if you are liking these cards and you are thinking about maybe making the investment, I am going to offer a class. Now I've just started doing the rough write-up, so I don't have everything sorted out here yet. But if you want to take the Curvy Christmas class, you would get the Curvy Christmas stamp set and a package of the designer paper and the materials used to use the kits to make the cards. You would use your own designer paper, and that would be $55. So it includes the project kits, your stamp set, and your designer paper. If you wanted to order the whole shebang, all four of the things, then the class is free. But again, you would use your own designer paper and your own stamp sets. So once shipping and handling and GST is added in, it's $110.88. So it's the $96 bundle. But you would need to pay $110.88 because that includes the shipping and handling and GST. So this is information that's going to show up in your mailbox today, hopefully. If not today, early tomorrow morning. So there is a class coming. If you see, if you follow any of the demonstrator websites or stamping websites, I'm sure you've seen lots of samples of these cards. They've been showing up quite regularly, and you're going to see a whole lot more, including from me. I have to make myself stop playing, I think. But anyway, so if you like this, thank you for sharing. Some of you have already said you've shared. Some of you are commenting and leaving me very positive responses, so thank you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a thumbs up too, please, and maybe even subscribe. So thank you for joining me. Have some fun. All this stuff's coming, will be available beginning tomorrow. Bye-bye.